Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another celebrity interview for Reno Uke Fest 2025. We are here with Bobby J. Hi, Bob. Thanks for joining us.
Pleasure to be here.
Now, Bobby's in a kind of a special position here at the festival because you'll be teaching, but you'll also be managing the public stage and all of the open mic opportunities that we're going to have. You're the guy to go to for open mics. Is that true?
That is right. That is right. And I will be near the open stage almost all day long, every day. So I won't be hard to find. Okay.
Okay, great. All right. Well, this year we're doing something a little bit different. We have done some group performances in the past called the Band Scramble, and that was a success. However, there were some people thinking maybe we should do something a little bit different. So we opened up that last time slot to have a couple of artist panels come in and talk to us about different things in their professional world. We've got a light bulb room where people can go and explore ideas and chit chat with each other. And then on the public stage, for all of those performers that are now going to be missing their band scramble opportunity, we have so many open mics planned. We've basically made the public stage the open mic stage. All of the workshops on the public stage will be geared toward performance. We're going to have workshops for every level and all kinds of different topics. So I'm going to hand it over to Bob to be able to tell us a little bit more about that.
We noticed after the last festival how important it was for the attendees to have an opportunity to actually play and sing and perform. Going into the classes is very valuable, and you learn many things from the artists that you're bringing to the festival in their individual classes. But it's relatively passive most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, in which you sit there and someone demonstrates or teaches a lesson. But we wanted to do something more. We wanted to give everybody a chance to step onto the stage and to perform, sometimes more than once. And so, with your schedule to begin with, we have created so many different opportunities. Let me run them down, the kinds of things that are going to be. We have 9, count them, 9 open mic sessions. Each one of those, I figure 10 5-minute slots, but we also have some that are expanded to an hour and 15 minutes, where 12 open mic slots, or some expanded instead of 5 minutes, 7 minutes, or something like that. And we'll figure that how it goes. But what that means is that we have somewhere between 90 and 100 slots for open mics for the participants to come and sometimes more than once, take more than one slot if they can get it scheduled. Of course, we'll try to be as fair as possible to make sure that everybody that wants to perform gets a chance to be on stage, to be fully supported with an audio crew, with a host, with an MC, to really have a big deal, a big, nice, warm, not loosey-goosey, but professional and polished open mic experience, 90 to 100 times to do that. I think that's absolutely terrific to do that. And we'll rotate different hosts and MCs in and out to keep it kind of mixed up. And I'm sure we'll invent and come up with some other cool stuff to do during those open mic sessions. We'll also have 5 open mic classes. I'll be teaching boot camp. I'll be teaching the graduate course. Art Hopkins is teaching 2 courses in comedy and stage presence. And Conrad Kamen is teaching a course which he promises to be hilarious called Things Go Wrong at Open Mic, or a title, something like that. So we'll have those classes. We've got one official strum along scheduled there on the public stage where everybody can come. Art Hopkins will be leading that strum along. And we'll have 3 pajama jams. Now, this is the loose part of it, late in the evening. The pajama jams, which are a lot of fun. Everybody who participates loves that. So you can come late at night and do that. You can do your open mics. You can come to your classes. And then the new thing this year that I'm so excited about is that we have 7 mini concerts that we're calling the Intermezzi. And they will be sprinkled in and out, in which groups like Aria 51 and Buffalo Gals, Sunshine Coconuts, these are established groups, and they're going to come in and get a chance to do 20, 25, maybe 30 minutes of brief concerts in between. And I think that's just going to be an absolute blast. And everyone's going to get a chance to do, not just to sit and receive, but to a chance to show where they are at different levels. There'll be some rookies. I know some people who will be going for their very, very first open mic, and I think that is so exciting to watch people get up there for the very first time. And some of them will have pickups on their ukuleles or instruments, and some will play in front of a mic. It doesn't matter. Whichever you're most comfortable at and whichever you're ready for, will be able to accommodate your needs to get up and sing your song and play your instrument and get out in front of people and perform. And then there's going to be some people who are quite skilled, who are going to be able to lay down some more advanced work. And it's just all going to be mixed up of people of different levels, all walking the same path, just at different places on the path. Some are just starting out, some are further along, some are further along than that. But great respect to everyone who's going to get up and perform. And that's the theme this year, performance. It's not learning how to play the ukulele, and I'm certainly not going to do that because I can't teach ukulele. I'm not competent to do that. It's not about learning to sing. I'm not competent to do that. But teaching how to perform, how to get up on stage in open mic situations here, I can do that. And that's my focus, is all the tricks that I've gained in 62 years on stage. 62 years.
Yeah, and I know we did an interview last year, which I will also link here if anybody wants to go into more detail about Bob's past and history. Just give us a little rundown of your experience.
Um, I got my first Ludwig Pearl snare drum when I was 14 and started as a drummer and played in high school bands. Picked up the guitar as everybody did in the early 60s because we were all doing folk music. We were all doing Peter, Paul, and Mary and the Kingston Trio and all of that kind of stuff. Picked up the guitar, was in a couple of little garage bands, birthday party bands, you know, the little high school band stuff that you do. I went off to the Marines for 4 years, came back, and eventually earned a PhD in dramatic criticism and theory from Florida State University. Secured a job as a professor at San Jose State University in theater arts and began to develop a career as a professional actor and a director while I was professoring at San Jose State University. Wrote novels, wrote plays, did a movie in Hollywood, an absolutely forgettable movie in Hollywood. It was... Danny, it was so bad. It was so absolutely bad. But fortunately, I made the right choice, which was no residuals. Don't send me any residuals. Just give me a nice fat paycheck at the beginning,
Nice.
which they did, and was my down payment on a house. So that was a kind of cool thing. It's a little off the topic, but when arthritis began to inflict this left hand, I had to put the guitar down. I no longer had the finger strength to bar chords. And I put it down for a while, and then I found the ukulele with the nice little narrow neck, the soft strings, little frets closer together, and I was all of a sudden able to regain some of my musical chops and to play the ukulele, and started doing open mics, which you insisted that I do way back when you were my first teacher. And
Right
you
there in
said you
that
need
room.
to go across the street from the Strum Shop, and there's a place called the Plum Tree or something. I don't remember what
The
it was.
fig tree. Yeah.
Fig Tree. and start doing some open mics. And so I did, and then I started doing some others and some others and some others, and building up my chops at
Mhm.
open mics, which is in the vicinity of 300 open mics right now.
Yeah, now you're the open
300 of
mic
them
king of
open
Auburn,
mics.
Roseville.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Typically doing two a week. I did Monday night and Tuesday night this week at different venues, and sometimes three a week, occasionally four a week.
Mhm.
Building and building and building and building my skills, not because it's a stepping stone for me to go someplace else like gigs or music career or the industry, and for itself. Open mic is its own art form,
Mhm.
perfectly, perfectly satisfying to me. One time, Christine, my wife, in the kitchen around the island said, "Why are you spending all this time and all this money on equipment and practice and energy and so on and so forth? What do you hope to get from it?" And I thought for a minute and I said, "Why do I do this? To see how good I can get. That's it. Just to see how good I can become as a performer at open mics. Simple. And one of the things I discovered for other people is that so many of us human beings really have a fantasy about singing. And it's because we listen to songs on the radio. We've been listening to music. We sing with songs. And everybody wants to sing. And you can go to an open mic 3 times a week and sing to your heart's
And
content.
it's different than karaoke too, because you can choose what key you want, and it's a more of a proper art form, although people who love karaoke might
Right,
disagree with
right.
me.
Okay, so take the karaoke example that you just used
Mhm.
and expand that to AI, to artificial intelligence music, where you
Mhm.
see it all the time. We can write better songs than you can. AI can do that, can make better music, can do better orchestrations, and so on and so forth. Possibly. I don't know the answer to that, but I'll tell you what they can't do. They cannot stand in front of an audience with an instrument in their hand and their own live body, their live instrument, no enhancements, standing there and singing their heart and soul out in front of a live audience. That's the thrill. And I
That's
think audiences are going to demand that more and more, Danny.
Yeah, I think so
As
too.
people are saying, wait a minute, wait a minute. I don't know where this music is coming from. I want to see a real human being making this music in front of my very eyes.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more and more and more demand for that kind of music.
I sure hope so because, yeah, I've been thinking about my own career, my own skills, and I thought I'm sure it can be replicated in some ways, but I'm really hoping that people are going to want that human element. And that means that people can make mistakes on the stage, and that's a beautiful thing, right? Especially if you make a mistake and then you blush and then you keep going
Yeah,
and
yep,
you show us your resilience and your
yep,
endurance and your focus.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
very special.
One of the most important words that you learn as an open mic musician is oops.
Yeah, just don't say it during the set.
Oh, I say it in the set all the time.
You do.
Oops.
Don't respond. That's my advice.
Mm.
Now, let me just ask you a quick question. You mentioned a lot about singing, but I know a lot of people do not sing, or they don't think that they can sing, and so they don't sing. Are they going to be required to sing at the open mics in Reno?
No, no, it's your time. You can do whatever you want to do. And we do have some musicians from past open mics who are perfectly capable of getting up and doing an instrumental.
Yeah, good.
You know, you know the guy who makes his own ukuleles. There's the double-necked ukuleles, and they're these big, beautiful,
Uh-huh.
wonderful things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So if people want to sign up as like a couple or like three people in a group, will we be able to accommodate that?
Yes. Yes. And we do it all the time. Couples are easy. Trios are not hard. Once you get above trios, we have to move from individual directional microphones into typically either shared microphones, which is sometimes awkward, or
Mhm.
an omnidirectional microphone for picking up a group, which may or may not work. And if you compound that with, oh, but I don't have a pickup on my ukulele and I've got to have a microphone for my ukulele as well.
Mm.
Above three, it really starts getting dicey. We could do it, but we don't have the time to engineer for a band. We
Okay.
just don't. Um, we've got a little band that's going to be opening up, but we have the time to set up an opening band. But once this thing gets rolling,
Yeah.
this public stage is back to back to back to back to back all day long. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Well, not Wednesday, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday anyway. It's
Okay.
just so tight. But you're back to your question. One, of course. Two, sure. Three, yeah. Four,
Or they might not all be heard
or
evenly.
their instruments might not have a channel to plug in.
Yeah, they might be a little further in the background and you only hear the front few rows
Right.
will hear that person.
But Danny, we will do the
Best. Yeah.
best we can.
Right.
We'll have a good mixer. We'll have good equipment up there. We know what we're doing. We've done this many times,
Yeah.
and
Right.
we'll accommodate as much as we can. But people should know. Try to hold it to three
Okay.
for
Um,
top quality audio.
all right. Are we going to have a bass amp up there available to
Yes, yes. Tom Asaraday, my bass player, is going to bring his bass amp. It's just going to leave it on the stage,
Excellent.
so that anybody can do it either wireless or with a cable.
Okay. Do they need to have a festival pass in order to get up on the stage?
Yes, ma'am.
And why is that?
Yes, ma'am. Because the people who have come to this festival and have paid their ticket, paid their dues, are staying there, are committed attendees, cannot be pushed out of open mic slots by people who maybe live locally and just kind of drifted in with some other people and, oh, I'm here, I might as well get up and do an open mic slot. No, no. The answer is no. Okay? And it's not one of those, well, let's wait and see if there's any slot at the end. The answer is no. If we don't see a badge, we're not going to sign people up for the open mic slots. It's for the attendees at this festival. Is that pretty clear?
That's very
Yep.
clear. Thank you for saying it. And I just want everybody at home to know it's only because after we've done the survey after last year's festival, there were quite a few people who were badge holders who expressed their disappointment that they were really looking forward to doing open mic and they didn't get a chance to. And we weren't sure if there was people who gotten up with or without badges. We weren't monitoring it very much last year, but in order to protect our badge holders, we will be requiring a badge. Now, if you want to
Absolutely.
buy a day pass, we've got that available for you if you don't want to do
Fine.
the full festival.
Fine.
Right.
But have that thing around your neck so that
Yes.
we can check very quickly to make sure that the festival attendees are getting their opportunities to perform.
As you said, you've had a lot of experience with open mics, which has allowed you to learn your own mistakes, learn other people's mistakes, come up with a lot of fresh ideas and some really incredible instruction. You've been seeing emails come through called Bob's Open Mic Tips, and we are on, I think, number 8. I might have got a little backed up. We're supposed to have 9 out. You have a few more to go, and in these articles, they're wonderfully written, and you focus on individual aspects. So there's one where you talk about mic, how far to be from the mic. You show a picture of yourself with the mic. You go into great detail about that. There's another one recently where you're talking about whether you should plug in or use just walk up to the mic, or what kind of equipment you might want to invest in if you want to become a kind of a career open micer and maybe later a performer, you know. So everybody go back and check your emails, but you can also go to renouke.com or renoukulelefestival.com and head to the newsletter option and you'll see all of Bob's articles there. So make sure you go and read those and you'll get kind of a better idea, especially if you're nervous about it or if you've had any questions about some of these things.
Yes, when you try to do it in a live open session, the time just flies by.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the discussions are superficial because you just don't have enough time to get
Right.
into them. So both of them, the classes I'm teaching, the boot camp, open mic boot camp, and open mic graduate school, have
Yes.
a more limited number of topics that I can do in greater depth, with the hope that they are reading these articles ahead of time.
Okay.
So it's not totally unfamiliar that we have to cover every aspect. For instance, in the boot camp, of course, we'll go into microphone usage in some detail, how to use a microphone, how to set it up. Um, I'll talk about the visual aspects of performance,
Oh, yes.
how you look on stage,
Uh-huh.
how you move on stage. I'll talk about the decorum of open mics, of
Good.
staying in your time, of not walking out on somebody else's performance after they've been so kind to listen to your performance, um,
Nice.
of the respect for each other and the support for each other, and working with your audio tech, what your audio tech is going to be able to do for you and not be able to do for you. Um, I'll talk about patter, one of the real problem areas for beginning open micers
Hmm.
and for advanced open micers. What to say and how to say it, and what not to say when you're introducing your material or transitioning between songs or saying goodbye or whatever it is that you need to say. The graduate course is a much dicier kind of course. Sources of material, original material, cover material, interpretive material, contact and engagement with the audience,
Nice.
sophisticated performance techniques and considerations, building your repertoire and how to do that over time. Um, and I'm really looking forward to teaching that class. What do you need to be a graduate student to come into the graduate class? Um, well, you could take the boot camp, and
And
that
then you're
would
ready?
and that would qualify you to go into the graduate class.
Okay.
Or you can come in having come to earlier festivals. You have a quality instrument with a quality pickup because you can play over a microphone, sure, but eventually you're going to want to plug in because the situations out in the clubs are very different, and you have to be flexible enough to plug in through a cable or play it in front of an acoustic mic.
Yeah.
Um, and a few other things that I would expect graduate students to do, like you've done an open mic before, you know. Um,
Are you going to have them get up and perform during the class?
no,
Okay.
no,
So somebody who's saying, I don't qualify for any of this, they can come and sit in the back and still nod at
absolutely,
it. Okay.
absolutely. But no, you do not have to do
Good.
that.
Okay.
There's just not enough time, Danny. I mean, an hour
Yeah.
goes by, you snap your fingers, and you have five topics, and you're in the middle of number two.
Yeah.
So we just don't have enough time to do that. But it's a good question in this regard. I want to make sure that both of the classes have a sizable chunk at the end for questions and answers
Oh,
so
okay.
that people can't, so it's not a lecture per se, or it's not an all a lecture from beginning to end, so
Yeah.
that people can participate. And a lot of people have a particular itch that they want to scratch in terms of finding out this, that, and the other. What do you think about Beatles songs? Whatever it is that
Yeah.
people have as a question. Um, how do you start collaborating with other artists? Um, Whatever their questions are, we'll
Yeah.
have time. We want people to get out of it what they need to get out of it.
So make sure you uh, read over Bob's articles and kind of learn as much as you can. Maybe get some practice at home open mics before you come if you'd like to.
Yes, or start your own.
Yeah, so you're the open mic king of your area, but then you started doing these summer concerts at your place, and I think that you were choosing your friends that you met at your open mics who really impressed you. Is that
Well, I certainly use the open mics that I attend as a chance to scout
Yeah.
for talent.
Yeah. And you have a
And
gorgeous backyard right on the lake in Lake of the Pines.
right. And
Yeah,
then Christine
that's
produces. So I'll
yes.
come in and I'll say, Christine, I just heard this woman sing. She's incredible. You need to come down to the club and listen to her. So Christine will then come down and listen. And if she gives her, her sign of approval,
Uh-huh.
then we'll invite those people to come and do the concert. Next year, we'll be going into our seventh year.
No,
Yes,
7 years.
the seventh year.
And you do
This
how many concerts over the summer?
three. We do three a year.
Three, yeah, and they're
Yeah.
themed, which is really
So
fun.
yeah, we try themes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't
Ah,
work because, a musician, we say, okay, we want to do something. We'll do country music or we'll do blues or we'll do something else. And the musicians that we bring in, that's not their sweet spot.
yeah,
So we're trying to shove them into a box that they're not really the best at, rather than saying you should come and do your A game, the best you got, that really feels good to you, and that you are dying to sing. You're dying to do it.
yeah,
This music means so much to you. It's not something we imposed on you as a thematic thing.
yeah.
We learned that this year and
Nice.
ended up completely changing the theme
Oh,
because
okay. I see.
we were trying to pound,
Yeah.
square pegs into round holes, and it's just, oh, this is ridiculous. Forget this. One of the things that I liked the best about last year's festival was they were supposedly classes that Perry Stauffer was teaching, and he did it on the stage in the biggest of our rooms
The
there
jams.
in
Yeah.
the jam thing, and he brought Neil and Conrad and Daniel Ho and some other people,
Uh-huh.
Viggy, to come up on stage for this so-called class. And everybody just had a blast. It was a jam, and there had to have been 100 people in these classes
Yeah.
having the best time. And I realized that's what these folks want to do.
They want
They
to
want to
play.
come and play,
Yeah.
play.
And they want to play uninhibited and without too much thought, right? That's the whole point of us even becoming
Yeah,
musicians
yeah, yeah,
is that we
yeah.
get to express our soul. We don't want to get all caught up in the music theory part of it. Am I doing this right? I don't know enough, so I can't jump in there and do it. I mean, play like a child is the advice
Yeah,
that Victor
yeah.
Wooten gives in his book, The Music Lesson. Like a child playing air guitar never plays a wrong note. So let's just open up our inner child.
Yeah, I'm going to work on Perry Stauffer there for Saturday, Friday, or Saturday to maybe come and do some kind of a thing where everybody gets to play with Perry,
He would love that.
so I'm going to work on him. You can warn him. He's not going to escape.
Oh God, it's like you can't get a ukulele out of his hands.
Yeah, I want that to happen. I want to be in that audience. I want to be a participant for that.
Good. All
I just
right,
want to
we'll
be
make
able
it
to
happen.
just to go for it and have a good time, and I don't care.
Yeah.
So sometime on Friday or Saturday, I'm gonna make that happen if I can.
Well, and we did open it up. We've got the bluesy jazz jam. So it's kind of a combination of the blues jam and the jazz jam happening on the last time slot on Saturday in
Let
the
me just
big
look at
room
the
at the end of the hall.
oh the
So
bluesy jazz jam,
bluesy jazz jam.
and
Yeah.
that's in Sierra Five. Oh well, there we
Yeah.
go. There
Yeah.
we go.
That's one there.
Yeah.
Um, I just want to give a note to everybody. In my own experience with open mics, I started off as a very timid, incredibly self-conscious, no musical knowledge person with some innate talents because my family's in music and I started a little young, but I didn't know how to read music, didn't know anything about the circle of fifths. I went and played at my best friend's wedding, which was our dream since we were teenagers, and I thought I screwed up the whole thing. After I left the wedding, I thought I ruined her wedding. And it turns out she said later that it was totally fine. She was the bride. She was so
Yeah.
sweet. But I knew that even though I had studied really hard, I still felt so unfoundational and didn't know how to perform in front of people because
Yeah.
your brain goes conscious suddenly kicks in instead of the subconscious, which is where you've been practicing from. So what I did was I said my eighth grade self said, "This is so stupid. I wish I wasn't so incompetent at this. I'm going to go find an open mic and practice
Yeah.
performing in front of people.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anybody in Roseville. And at the time, right there on Vernon Street, there was a place called the Java Jungle, Wednesday night open mic. I went every single Wednesday night. I ended up making one or two friends. Well, what I realized was, one, most of the people in the audience are getting ready to perform. So
Yep.
they're nervous as heck. Like they're not there to sit there and judge. Nobody is sitting there and judging you. They're all rooting for you because we all root for the underdog. And the other thing was, making a mistake was not the end of the world. I just go back and do the same songs again or bring in new songs and just practice, practice, practice. And that led into my first band where I used to be on the paper. And then in that band, I said, I want to get off the page. And I went to the next level of memorizing all my music. All along the way, I made so many mistakes. And even now, it's been like 12 years or something. I feel a lot more competent. But even Perry says performing is 90% crisis management. So even if you know a song inside and out, sometimes you just have a brain freeze or a blank. It's just a blank slate. What are you going to do? How are you going to handle it? The more of this that you do, which is very scary and spooky at first, but the more you do is the more you get used to handling those situations. And the more you realize making a mistake, even in front of people, it's not, it doesn't bear anything on my talent or my skill necessarily. I have the moxie to be getting up here in front of people, projecting my voice or my uke onto a speaker. That is an incredibly brave thing to do. So the more you do that, which is takes bravery, the better you get at it, but also the more you realize that those mistakes are not that consequential.
They're
You have
not.
more fun than you do have mistakes.
They're not. And you learn how to handle your mistakes, how to blast through them,
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you need to do to handle mistake. And also realize the audience doesn't care.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
And they, in fact, audiences sometimes find the mistakes interesting
Uh-huh.
because they project themselves up there. If I was up there and I made this mistake, and they watch it and they see what's going on, and they're not judging, they're not putting you down, they're not thinking less of you. They're just interested to see how you handle the situation. So you can't be, and don't overthink, rookies. Do not overthink these initial performances.
Yeah.
Um, you're paying your dues. You're
Yes.
working your way through things. You're working from charts to getting off charts,
Mm-hmm.
sheet music, or whatever charts or iPads or whatever it is
Yeah.
that you're using to. It's a process, and you move through it,
Yeah.
and you get better. You get
And
better.
we've seen people get better over the years at Reno too. You know,
Yes.
people who were like their knees were knocking the first time they went up. And then the next year they're like, okay, I feel a little more now I'm like just a little more excited. And then the third year they're like, okay, I'm doing it off the page for the first time.
Yeah.
Or I brought my friend up. We've been practicing at home for the last 6 months. We're
Yeah.
ready, you know.
Or they're going to your online open mics your once a month. They've
That's
been at the
right.
festival. They want a
Yep.
chance to get better, and they're coming to your open mics. I go on and I see uh, who's on the list, and
Yeah.
I say, those people were at Reno last year.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I challenged them. I said, before you come back here next time, if you want to really get better, you've got to do some open mics, and the easiest and best and the gentlest and the kindest and the most support open mic that you're going to get is the Starlight Academy or the Uke West. I forget what you're calling the open mics.
Yeah.
No,
Well, we call it the Starlight Open Mic, but it's for you can even come for free if you just sign up on our Patreon for free. You're welcome to come to the open mic that we do every
yeah.
month, giving people a chance to
And
perform.
it's great because Danny, you're so supportive
Oh,
of
thanks.
what people are doing, and Perry too.
Yeah.
Very supportive of what people are doing. So it's a great time, and there's also still the protection of it's online, and you're not actually standing up
Yeah.
and
You can even
uh,
hide your own image if you want to, if
you
you
you can you
insist.
can do that if you want to, and
Yeah.
and you work your way up along the path. You're always moving forward. You're taking another step. another step. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You are your own self. You are your own musician. And I'm going to tell you one of the great secrets about open mic. What you learn. You learn who you are. You learn who you are as a musician. You learn what your sweet spot is. You learn
Mm-hmm.
where you're really effective. You
Yeah.
learn where you need to improve. But you learn who you are as, and don't try to be, whatever,
Yeah.
somebody other than who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to encourage everybody, if you're thinking about signing up for the open mic at Reno, we've got 90 to 100 time slots available. So you should get your time. Do it. And now Bob said that he's got a degree in his degree is called in criticism. I don't want anyone to be afraid that if they get up there and they feel like they bombed or they didn't do the thing, there's not going to be any critiquing
No,
afterwards.
none, none, zero,
Okay. Good.
zero.
Yeah, you'll get a warm response from the audience. And if you make a mistake, just smile and blush. It's the cutest thing. I just performed recently with Perry, and we did a song that we used to do a lot. And I know the lyrics of the song. I know them. Anything but love. I can't give you anything. But I was playing bass for the first time and off the page. And I went through and got to a part where I sang the wrong lyrics, two sentences early, and I panicked, but I kept singing. And then I sang the same exact sentence the second time because I thought, surely it fits into this slot. And as I was singing it, I thought, oh no, it doesn't fit into the next slot. And I sang it a
Oops.
third time. And by the third time, I was blushing and smiling, and the audience was giggling and laughing, and they all were with me. They
Yeah.
understood. And
Yeah.
at the very end, I went, it just with kind of a look like this. And they were all like, it's no big deal. It's okay. We love you anyway. But what I did was I kept going,
Yeah.
and it made me blush more and more. But there's nothing prettier than a smile and a blush. So
That's right. And didn't they find it interesting?
it
Oh,
was at
look,
least
Danny is
interesting.
screwing up. Oh, she did it again.
Oh, a
How's
third
she going to
time.
get out of this? Is she going to get out of? Oh, she got out of it. Yay!
I was so relieved when the song was over. I was like, let's do something we know really well next. But you know what? It wasn't a big deal. And it made no mark on me as a skilled artist or non-skilled artist. It was, how do you get out of the crisis
Yeah.
smoothly and with a nice little smile?
Yes. Sometimes you have a whole set that's just not satisfactory to you for one reason or the other. And
Mm-hmm.
the next night you're beautiful. You're absolutely sensational.
Totally.
Everything is an A plus.
Yeah.
And it you just can't tell. A lot of it is the environment, the audience,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
what you had for breakfast. I don't know what
Yeah.
causes it
Oh, well,
to.
did you sleep?
Hmm.
But every single time we learn something.
Yes.
And that's the important thing to remember. You're going to learn something. You're going to learn
Yes.
what not to do, maybe. Or you're going to
Yes.
learn that that joke really landed well. I didn't even mean for it to be a joke, but everybody laughed. Maybe
Yes.
I'll say it like that again the next time I do that song. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. Well, I'm excited, and I just want to thank you, Bob. You're bringing so much experience, and I mean, the education that you went through and the teaching that you did, and it's all culminating into the open mics. And I really appreciate that you're making the open mic into letting people understand this is an art form,
Yes.
and it's important, and they can prepare for it, and they can learn through it, and they can support each other because there
Yes.
will be an audience. You can even just sit in the audience and be a participant, be the person that claps and smiles even though somebody's leaving the stage feeling like they bombed.
Yeah.
Be the support that they need. All right, Bob, is there anything else that they need to know to prepare?
Practice. Learn your songs. Practice some more. Come, bring the best you got, the best you have.
Yeah,
Okay.
good.
Yep.
And keep breathing the whole time. All right, Bob, we'll see you in Reno at the fest, and we'll see the rest of you October 8th through the
Give
11th.
my regards to Perry, wherever he is.
Surely will. And I saw CJ pop in just real quick. You all see CJ, and she'll be helping us behind at the raffle desk. So make sure you go over and say hello. She's
And
wonderful.
wherever else she is needed.
That's amazing. You guys are so great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that you all have a really beautiful day, and we'll see you in October.
Okay. Bye, Danny.
Bye, Bob.